Spoiler warning! There are spoilers in this video. This is your warning. Your spoiler warning. That's a spoiler warning. I'd consider myself a fan of approximately 3 fighting games, and 2 of them are part of the Dragon Ball Xenoverse series. Over the past few months, I've been getting back into Dragon Ball Z, one of the best things from my childhood, right next to Oddbods and playing Hide the Sausage with my uncle. It's just great watching these characters beat the snot out of each other, from the horrible little goblin monsters like the Cybermen and Krillin, all the way up to the champion himself, Hercule. Dragon Ball Xenoverse's story is simple enough, in theory anyway. Some bad guys are changing history, and you have to follow them around with your created character, making sure they don't screw everything up too badly. The sequel is the same basic idea, but they mix things up a lot more with hypothetical scenarios such as Cooler showing up to help his brother at the end of the Frieza saga, so you don't really feel like you're retreading old ground. If you're new to Dragon Ball Z, it's about a bunch of fighters who tussle with stronger and stronger enemies until it becomes pointless trying to comprehend exactly how powerful anyone is. If you are new, however, you probably don't want to start with this game. The story won't make a lick of sense. In Dragon Ball Z, it's kind of hard to figure out what's proper canon and what's not as far as the movies are concerned. There are a few different timelines and dimensions going around, but I haven't had a chance to dedicate a few lifetimes to learning about all this bullshit. I just like the flash and colours. Xenoverse mixes everything together, allowing the baddies to bring in lame wads from those movies no sensible people have ever heard of to get involved in the main plot. At some points, the game will get so swept up in the storytelling that the gameplay suffers a bit. For example, you have to fight Turles and Lord Slug while you're on planet Namek, but they simply stop taking damage when you get them down to 10% health until they finish spouting out a million lines of dialogue. You just have to fly around trying not to get hit too much because it will negatively affect your rating for the mission. After a while there's a short cutscene, and then you're back in the fight but they've got all their health back. After you do a bit of damage, Trunks shows up to help, and you're finally allowed to beat them properly. In the next cutscene, Turles and Slug are both standing there right where they started as if nothing had happened, whereupon they cutscene attack you. It's like, dude, if you want to make a movie, make a movie. This is a game. Make my actions mean something, please. While we're on the topic of the dialogue getting annoying, during one mission I had to fight a swarm of 20 metal coolers. They had 2 different lines between them. It was agonizing. I don't know enough about Metal Cooler to know why there were 20 of him, but one of my nerd friends says he can clone himself because he's stuck his head into a star or something, so there you go. Gameplay wise, you've got a few basic attack types that can be strung together in different combos, as well as super attacks and ultimate attacks that are as exciting as they sound. As you can see by the way I expertly mash buttons, you don't have to be very good to stay competitive throughout the story mode, but if you want to venture into player versus player combat, you're going to have to learn how to play properly. I don't. There's also the occasional standard fighting game bullshittery when the game decides it's played fair for long enough and stops letting you do anything. The enemies will perform perfect dodging and guarding, they'll be hitting you out of your evasive moves before you've even evaded, all that sort of rubbish. You know how it is if you've ever played a fighting game before. But yeah, what you see is pretty much what you get. You can use a whole host of colourful characters, and there are about a bazillion attacks and bits of equipment to collect, so if you're the kind of person who likes going after unlockables, you've got plenty to keep you occupied. There are also some fully sick minigames, just take a look at this! I did quite a bit of complaining here, but when it's all said and done, I enjoy the game, even if things do tend to drag on a bit. Drag on. Ball. Z. Recommended.